Welcome to the NHL Hockeyverse Matchup of the Week. And what a treat we have in store for you today. One of the best rivalries in sports, an Original Six matchup between the New York Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews, one of the best players in the world and a former Hart Trophy winner, laces up for Toronto. And New York will have former Calder Trophy winner as the NHL's top rookie, Artemi Panarin, leading their Rangers. Hello everyone, I'm Thomas Gamba.
And I'm Mike Seville. We are back in the Hockeyverse for an amazing matchup.
And I love a great rivalry game, Mike. The Rangers and Maple Leafs have matched up over 500 times in their history. Who are you pumped up to watch today, Mike?
I'll be focusing on Toronto's William Nylander. Not only was he an All-Star last year, but his dogs Banksy and Pablo were featured on Face-Off inside the NHL.
Gotta love a popular pup, Mike. For me, I can't wait to check out New York Ranger goaltender Igor Shesterkin. The Russian star is a former Vezina Trophy winner for the league's best goaltender and has been on fire lately.
Let's see what he's got against one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference.
Here we go, a battle between two of the original six teams in the Hockeyverse, the Maple Leafs and the Rangers. As Matthews and Zibanejad take the face-off, Matthews will win it and Toronto controls.
That's right, Thomas. These two teams are part of the original six who played each other for 25 years until the next expansion in 1967.
Austin Matthews in the corner tripped up and a penalty is called. Mika Zibanejad knocked down Matthews and he will go to the penalty box. So an early opportunity for the Maple Leafs here with a power play. Just 18 seconds in, the Rangers win the faceoff and they will clear it down to Maple Leafs goalie Anthony Stolarz, who is one of three players on Toronto's roster to win the Stanley Cup last year with the Florida Panthers.
And Thomas, the other two were Steven Lorentz and Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and they're looking to continue their winning ways this season and into Hockeyverse.
John Tavares with the puck for Toronto. He knows a little bit about playing in New York, Mike.
Yeah, that's right. He used to play with the Rangers' crosstown rivals, the New York Islanders. Played with them his first 9 seasons and was their captain as well.
The Maple Leafs get into the zone with Matthew Knies. 19 minutes to go in the first. Nylander with a shot knocked in front by Matthews and kicked out to the point with Mitch Marner. He plays catch with Matthews and a good clear by Keandre Miller, who has been playing hockey since he was 2 years old.
It's pretty impressive. He must have been born to play hockey.
He definitely was. His uncle was supervising him while he was skating. As I mentioned, 2 years old. I don't even know what I was doing when I was 2 years old. Probably playing with trains or something like that.
I used to be playing with cars.
Ooh, you're a big cars guy. More of a train guy. Here's Ekman-Larsson in the corner. Trocheck knocks it around. Robertson looking to take it. And he'll get it up for Riley. Far side, it's Domi looking to the slot. Sauces it. Ekman-Larsson scores! It's a OEL one-timer in the Hockeyverse as Toronto takes a 1-0 lead.
Beautiful slot pass from Domi. Check this out. In the corner, wide open, it's Ekman-Larsson. Lasers it in for the goal.
And Ekman-Larsson now has the 5th most goals in NHL history by Swedish defensemen after that rocket of a shot. While we have a stop in the action, let's travel around the league with our Hockeyverse happenings. On our last show, Washington's Alex Ovechkin made history with the first ever Hockeyverse hat trick. Well, the great chase continued this week as Ovi moved even closer to catching Wayne Gretzky as the NHL's all-time leading goal scorer. This sick goal against Tampa Bay was Ovechkin's 884th of his amazing career, leaving the 39-year-old future Hall of Famer just 11 short of passing the GOAT.
Well, Ovechkin didn't have to wait much longer to close the gap with the Great One. He found the net against the Rangers, and the NHL's all-time goals chase is tightening up.
Speaking of crazy, can you believe that nearly 95,000 fans came to Ohio Stadium to watch the 2025 Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series game between Columbus and Detroit? That's the second largest crowd ever to attend an NHL game, only the 2014 Winter Classic at Michigan Stadium had a bigger attendance.
And those fans didn't leave disappointed. That Wings and Blue Jackets game under the stars had so much back and forth action. And much to the delight of the hometown crowd, Columbus defeated Detroit 5-3 with 2 late third-period goals to win their first ever outdoor game.
And speaking of hockey history, Mike, what about New York Islanders netminder Ilya Sorokin? On this play against Nashville, Sorokin was the last player to touch the puck on this errant pass from Steven Stamkos and was credited with his first ever goal and only the second goaltender in Islander history to score a goal.
That's the 20th goalie goal in league history, and amazingly, the 3rd this season, the most ever in 1 year. Hope we get a goalie goal in the Hockeyverse one day.
Just about 7 minutes to go in the first period, and the Rangers looking for a tying goal here as they win the faceoff and get it into the neutral zone. It's JT Miller finding Cooley, back to Miller, he fires, that's blocked. Borgen, he shoots, and that's tipped in! What a redirect by Mika Zibanejad, and the game is tied at 1.
A nice block by Benoit out in front, but unlucky right to Borgen, and there is Zibanejad for the tip-in.
And Mike, he delivered that puck perfectly to the back of the net, just like he does with his burgers at his burger restaurant in Sweden. Just around 2.5 minutes to go in this first period with the game tied at 1 and the Maple Leafs win the faceoff. Here's Bobby McMahon, who had a goal in the Maple Leafs' last appearance in the Hockeyverse. Schneider gets it in front. Backhand by Carrick is stopped. Second chance is turned aside. Rangers still have the puck, and another save by Stolarz. 3 incredible stops, and the game is still tied at 1.
And Thomas, Mika Zibanejad's goal got me thinking, do you enjoy burgers?
Of course I do. I know we talked about how I don't like ice cream last week, but I love me a burger.
I have to agree with you on this one. I love burgers as well. Do you put anything on your burger?
No, of course not. I'm a plain guy. Plain is the way to go, Mike.
Yes, I agree. Look at this. We're both agreeing for once.
There we go. We're in complete harmony here in the Hockeyverse. No better place to be in agreement. Keandre Miller the other way for the Rangers. 1:30 to go, and they get it to JT Miller. And Mike, he kind of looks familiar to me. Have we seen him before?
That's right. He was on the Vancouver Canucks earlier this year. We saw him in our first episode of the Hockeyverse.
This is his second stint with the Rangers. He was drafted by them earlier and then got traded away, but then brought back to the Big Apple and now in the Hockeyverse. 1 minute to go in the first period. David Camp in the right corner. Knocked around and taken by Will Cooley, who will shoot it in for a change. 50 seconds to go in the first period. And Mike, it has been an exciting one so far.
That's right. Both of these teams are really good offensively and tied up at 1. Should be in store for a lot more action.
Ryan Reeves, the former Ranger, dumps it in. And Igor Shesterkin tries to get it around the board. Shesterkin actually played in the 2018 Winter Olympics. 25 seconds to go in the first period. And Morgan Riley will shoot it in deep.
Let's see if the Rangers can get anything going offensively here to end the period.
Artemi Panarin with the puck. They call him the bread man as he looks to get the puck there, but a steal by William Nylander. Mentioned in our first episode, they call him Willie Styles. Walking up with the puck here, and his shot is saved, as that will do it for the first period. We're all squared at 1, after 1 in the Hockeyverse. What an awesome first period, Mike. I can't wait to see the rest of this matchup. Before we take a short break, it's time for the coolest part of the show, the brain freeze question of the day.
Well, we mentioned earlier that this longtime rivalry features 2 of the original 6 professional hockey teams. Can you name the other 4 original 6 NHL franchises?
That's a good history test, Mike. We'll have the answer later in the show. Up next is the second period and our favorite segment, Puck Pals. In the meantime, I have to go clean some ice. Good thing I have a driver's license. Welcome back to the NHL Hockeyverse matchup of the week. Hey Mike, it's time for everyone's #1 segment, Puck Pals. Earlier, we talked about Rangers left winger Artemi Panarin and his great skills on the ice. Now we get to see why he's so good. Is it because of a pre-game meal or a special shake? No, it is not. It's because he trains off the ice with his favorite canine teammate, Mr. Rizzy.
Wow, check out the defensive skills by Mr. Rizzy. I'm not sure Panarin would ever reach the back of the net if his dog was between the pipes. What a great way for him to practice his hockey moves while having fun with his furry best friend.
Time for the second period as both teams deadlocked at 1, and JT Miller wins the faceoff for the Rangers, and they will shoot it down the ice. And Mike, one of the stars for the Toronto Maple Leafs, William Nylander, we mentioned him earlier. He scored a goal in the Maple Leafs' first Hockeyverse appearance, and you had an interesting story about him.
Yeah, that's right. His father, Michael, played in the NHL for 15 years with 7 different teams, including 2 seasons with the New York Rangers.
Nylander also has a connection with the Rangers. He played 2 years with the New York Rangers Pee Wee team. Pretty cool.
Interesting stuff. A long history of hockey for him.
Let's see if he could even get a goal against the Rangers. That would be pretty cool.
He'd impress Dad for sure.
McCabe with a stretch pass. There's Nylander in on Shesterkin looking for the goal, and he's got it! William Nylander, what a goal! And the Maple Leafs take a 2-1 lead.
And we just mentioned him, and look right here, Nylander all alone just sneaks it by Shesterkin for the goal.
And that's his 2nd career goal in the Hockeyverse and his 8th in his career against the Rangers. That beats out Dad, who only had 6, and there's some bragging rights at the dinner table for William Nylander.
That's for sure.
Under 16 minutes to go in the second period with Toronto leading 2-1 in this one. Mike, the excitement continues.
That's right. It's a little competitive now. The Rangers got to get something going.
Here's Mika Zibanejad, who played for Team Sweden in the Four Nations face-off and was actually teammates with William Nylander.
There are a couple other notable guys as well. Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. Like you mentioned, Canada, Austin Matthews played for the USA. The Rangers had 4 American players as well. Chris Kreider, JT Miller, Vincent Trocheck, and Adam Fox.
And Mike, Mitch Marner played a huge role for Canada in the Four Nations face-off. He had the game-winning goal against Mika Zibanejad and William Nylander's Swedish team. And then he had the game-winning assist in the final of the tournament against Austin Matthews, the United States.
That's right. Mitch Marner arguably was one of the most important players of that whole tournament.
Rangers control it in center ice. Here's Johnny Brodzinski. Flings it to the far side for Schneider. Shoots it on net, and it's frozen by Stolars as he makes the save. While we have a stop in the action, let's look at another amazing game for Toronto from this week.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs and Pittsburgh Penguins played one of the most exciting games of the season. The teams combined for 11 goals, with 5 coming in the opening period and 4 more in the second period. Future Hall of Famers Austin Matthews and Sidney Crosby each scored a goal, and Crosby also added 2 assists.
Toronto ended the second period with a last-second goal from the slot by Matthew Knies on this breakaway, and then William Nylander won it with a wrist shot goal 1 minute into the overtime period. Under 50 seconds to go in the second period, and Mike, after those fantastic moments, another buzzer beater came to mind for me on the same day of the Matthew Knies buzzer beating goal. It was Wyatt Johnston for the Dallas Stars, who scored with under a second to go in the first period against the Blues. That's pretty crazy that they had 2 buzzer beaters on the same day.
Yeah, pretty fantastic stuff right there.
Still 2-1 with 22 seconds to go in the second period. Nylander in the zone, shoots it, but it's blocked. 16 seconds to go. Tavares in the far corner, working on Vakanainen, who played for Finland in the Four Nations face-off. Holmberg with 6 seconds, finds Nylander, looking for a shot, and there's a penalty in front. It's going to be interference on Tavares, and the Rangers are on the power play. 3 seconds to go. Shot by Miller and a big save by Stolars. And that will do it for period number 2 with the Maple Leafs leading 2-1. 2 great periods of hockey. 1 more to go. Coming up after the break, we will have the answer to our brain freeze question of the day.
Here is your history test reminder. We know that the Rangers and Maple Leafs are 2 of the original 6 NHL teams. Can you name the other 4 teams?
The answer, along with the third period, is next on the NHL Hockeyverse Matchup of the Week. Welcome back to the NHL Hockeyverse Matchup of the Week. That was an awesome Ferris wheel ride, Mike.
It was so cool.
Good thing I'm not afraid of heights. But now let's get back to business and check those test scores to see who passed our brain freeze question of the day.
So Toronto and the New York Rangers make up 2 of the original 6 NHL teams. Here are the other 4 oldest NHL franchises: the Boston Bruins, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Montreal Canadiens.
Congratulations on passing your history test, you puckheads. It's the final period here from the Hockeyverse with the Maple Leafs leading 2-1. They look to hold on to this lead as they win the opening faceoff in the third. And Mike, March 8th is actually International Women's Day, and that got me thinking, who's your off-ice MVP? I would have to say it's definitely my mom.
I have to agree with you on that, Thomas. I'd probably say my mom as well, but if I had to pick someone else, I'd probably go with my grandma.
I agree. I would definitely pick my grandparents. They're the best, and I wouldn't be here without all the women in my life. 30 seconds into this third period, Igor Shesterkin with a long stretch pass for JT Miller. And the Maple Leafs will fling it back down the ice on this Ranger power play.
And speaking of that power play, the Rangers really need to capitalize here and score a goal. Down 2-1, plenty of time left, but momentum will be riding higher if this game was tied rather than if they were losing.
And who would you give the puck to if you want to score if you're New York?
I'd have to go with the bread man. You mentioned him earlier, Artemi Panarin, one of the best players on this Ranger team.
50 seconds to go on the power play. Rangers get a new line on there as Zach Jones controls it. He's one of 7 players in NHL history. He's from the state of Virginia. As Keandre Miller winds into the zone. He was actually a child actor when he was younger. He appeared in a Honda commercial as he controls the puck here. Shoots it on net, but a save. McCabe looking to clear. Riley Smith retrieves it for New York. Jones around the horn, and Brodzinski shot it high. And Mike, a fact about Brodzinski, his dad actually owned a hockey store called the Hockey Zone, and Johnny actually worked for his dad at the store.
Do you think he paid him a little extra?
I don't know, but it must have been pretty cool to work for his dad.
Absolutely.
The Ranger power play is over, and we are back to even strength as New York tips it into the zone. And Pontus Holmberg will get it across the red line. 17:49 to go in the third period. Holmberg's shot is saved by Shesterkin. Leafs get it back. 17:40 to go in the third. Angled in front by Tavares as he works behind the net. Circles in on Shesterkin, but he's cross-checked to the ground, and that will be a penalty. It's on Sam Carrick. So Toronto with a power play after the Sam Carrick penalty as Artemi Panarin wins the faceoff for the Rangers, and New York will clear it down the ice to Anthony Stolars. And Mike, we've never seen a shorthanded goal in the Hockeyverse yet.
A shorthanded goal is when the team killing the penalty scores a goal.
And this could be the perfect time for it. The Rangers need to tie the game with a goal. Could they do it here? Rangers get it down the ice once again. Another good clear by New York, and now it's Morgan Riley. Dumping it off for Austin Matthews, who's actually friends with Justin Bieber. Mike, you a big Justin Bieber guy?
Absolutely. My favorite song by him is Peaches. How about you?
Ooh, I'm a big Sorry guy. That's one of his top songs. I listen to that a lot in the car.
Love bumping Justin Bieber in the car, always.
Of course. and also looking at Austin Matthews in the Hockeyverse. I don't think anything can top that duo. 58 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Max Domi, whose dad, Ty, played 16 years in the NHL and played for both the Rangers and Toronto. As the Rangers get a steal here, 2-on-1. Zibanejad in front, Cooley, backhand, he scores! It's the first shorthanded goal in the Hockeyverse as the Rangers tie the game.
Great steal by Cooley, a little give and go to Zibanejad, right back to Cooley, and the backhanded goal goes.
And that's the 10th New York Rangers shorthanded goal of the season. What a milestone for the team. Just about 14 minutes to go here in the third period, and Mike, this back and forth affair is heating up as we get into crunch time.
For sure, we're in for an exciting finish.
Toronto looking to start another rush as Jake McCabe controls it near the red line. They get it up for Matthew Knies, who dumps it in. Shesterkin behind his net, couldn't get it around Marner. Now it's Matthews centering, and Knies scores! The Maple Leafs take the lead as Matthew Knies puts them in front.
And this goal doesn't happen without Marner blocking the Shesterkin pass, finds Matthews, who passes it to the cutting Knies for the goal, putting Toronto ahead.
And that's his second career goal in the Hockeyverse, and a huge one late in this game. The Rangers' net is empty as they look to get the tying goal with under a minute to go.
All the dice are on the board for New York.
They really need this win. They're battling for a wild card spot in the East, as the Maple Leafs looking to stay close to the top of the Eastern Conference. That shot just tipped off of Stolarz from Miller. 40 seconds to go in the third period. Around the boards go the Rangers. It's Keandre Miller at the right point to Alexis Lafreniere, the former #1 overall pick. Near side, Miller with a shot. That's blocked. Under 30 seconds to go. Panarin back to the near side for Keandre Miller. Tap pass with Zibanejad, 20 seconds. Miller fakes a one-timer. Panarin with a shot that's blocked. 15 seconds. The Maple Leafs can taste their second Hockeyverse win. Puck pinned against the wall. 10 seconds to go. JT Miller lost it. It's Austin Matthews. 6 seconds to go. Marner skates it at center ice, and that will do it. The Maple Leafs have their 4th straight win after the Four Nations face-off as they defeat the Rangers 3-2 in the Hockeyverse. That was an incredible matchup, Mike. A lot of action, and the outcome had us on the edge of our seats, or I guess squatting on the ice now.
Yeah, Matt Knies' game-winning goal in the third period was amazing. Toronto is playing great hockey right now, and they're pushed to the postseason.
And speaking of great hockey, Mike, I wonder who's this week's Hockeyverse hero?
Well, Thomas, lots of stars were great today, but I think we got to give props to Toronto's goalie, Anthony Stolarz. The Leafs netminder had 33 saves on 35 Ranger shots on goal.
Good call with our hero selection, Mike. Stolarz was on fire today. Well, that does it for this week's episode of the NHL Hockeyverse Matchup of the Week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.